What's the best webinar tool out there? Because there are a lot of choices and there are a lot of all-in-one solutions now that are telling you they can offer webinar services and you don't need to buy or utilize a third-party one at all. So I would be cautious about that, but let's talk about the ones I use because I actually have four, and I'll talk about the ones that I no longer use that I did try out. So let's do that today. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do product reviews like today on Saturdays. So I have tried out WebinarNinja, which was not very reliable and failed a lot. And I've also tried out Citrix, which I had used that pretty much my entire corporate life. So when I quit corporate and I moved over to an online business, I was just really comfortable with that. So I wanted to use that. I think it's also called Webex. However, it only works for PCs and I am definitely a Mac person. It also had a lot of limited functionality because it's really just meant for corporations. It's not meant for someone running an online business trying to actually sell products. So it just didn't work out. And then there were a couple other ones that I think EverWebinar and some other things that I tried out and they just weren't a fit, or I just didn't like how they looked or how they worked. And so anyway, so I have four right now that I use. So I'm going to go through each of those with you. I'm going to show you first we're just going to talk about pricing between all four. And then I'm going to show you on the back end exactly how they work and why I have four different services, because honestly, you probably only need one, but because of the things that I need to do for my business, that's why I have so many. The first thing you'll notice with pricing with a lot of these streaming software platforms is you pay a higher rate for monthly versus locking yourself into a one-time annual payment where you can pay less. And we are not going to go through any of these options because WebinarNinja is literally the absolute worst platform I have ever used. 99.9% of the time, they do not work, or I can't, or sometimes I can't even log in. Like this morning, I had a webinar and I had scheduled it through WebinarNinja and it took me 2.5 hours to log in. There was absolutely no support. And I know what you're saying. There's like this support button here. Every time I wrote to them, they'll say, that's really odd. Nobody else is having this problem. It's just you. And I mean, maybe, but I know people who personally use this and have the exact same problem. So I know what your question is. So why are we talking about this? I actually am stuck. I shouldn't say stuck. I bought a lifetime membership to WebinarNinja because it seemed like such a great deal at the time back in 2015. And the guy and his girlfriend who started it seemed really legit and they had a really great spiel. Anyways, it's awful. It's terrible. I forbid you from buying it or utilizing it. Just forget about it. So let's move on to the software I did use instead is Crowdcast. And Crowdcast is actually going to give you a 30% savings for the annual. And I love it. It is 100% reliable. I think maybe once, possibly twice, it has crashed on me, but otherwise it always works. So why did I leave Crowdcast? The only reason I left Crowdcast is because Streamyard, same thing, has a monthly and annual, has just a better interface where you can actually post the comments up there and it's so cheap. So I switched over to this. I do the basic just because I don't like having that big Streamyard logo on my live streams. And you don't, I mean, I guess you could go to professional if you really need to, but 8 multi-stream destinations. I don't even know 8 different platforms that I can multi-stream to. And also full HD, honestly, your camera or your internet connection, I don't even know if it can probably handle full HD. So it doesn't even matter. I just don't even bother doing it. And so anyway, so that's why I use Streamyard. However, so the funny thing is I quit Crowdcast because I was like, I'm just going to use Streamyard, but I forgot Streamyard has a limitation in that you cannot do private webinars. So everything streams to somewhere. And over here with Crowdcast, you can do private webinars. It does save a recording forever versus Streamyard will only save the recording for 15 days. Now, Streamyard does post it to YouTube, so it doesn't really matter. YouTube will keep your video forever as long as you don't delete it. But Crowdcast will keep it forever, so you don't have to worry about that. Plus, attendees can go later to it. They can also buy it right there if they want to if you want to just sell your webinar. Now, the only reason I did not like Crowdcast is because they say that you can multi-stream to, many different sources like Facebook and is it Instagram? Or maybe it's not Instagram, but you can multi-stream to this. I could 100% never get Facebook to work. I mean, maybe it's me, it's a user error, but honestly, Streamyard is 1,000 times easier to use to set up for multi-streaming to external platforms, which are called the RTMP. But honestly, I think like Streamyard is easier. Crowdcast, it's easy to do for YouTube. It is totally like, it just did not work for me for any other platform. So just something to keep in mind. I did see recently that they said for RTMP that you could actually stream to Streamyard, which I don't even know how that would work. So honestly, the Facebook didn't work. I don't have high hopes that the Streamyard could work, but to be fair, I have not tried it. So now Vimeo. So Vimeo I used to use, and this one you'll notice has no monthly versus annual options. They just have one price and that's it. However, what I would do if I were you is every time I have thought about signing up for Vimeo, if you don't sign up and you kind of think about it and you sign up for a trial, if you just wait, they'll send you a 15% off coupon for your first year. So I'm going to sign up for business. And the only reason I'm going to re-sign up for Vimeo is because I am switching over from Podia to Mighty Networks, and Podia for courses houses all of your videos free. Like you can do unlimited data. However, for Mighty Networks, they do not have that capability. They're just newer and they don't have that ability. So I'm going to have to upload all the courses for Planner Academy over to Vimeo. So I'm going to sign up for business because there's no weekly limit. If you have a lot of videos and you try to do pro, you're going to run, I don't know about you, but I always run into the 20 gigabyte limit like in 2 seconds. So I'm switching over to business. And then when my 30-day trial is over, I'll probably just switch back to pro once I get like the bulk of the content uploaded. But these 3 let you do a free trial. This one over here, which is premium, you do not need it. They have unlimited live streaming. Don't get too excited. Their live streaming service basically just sucks. I'm not even going to do a demo for it. It's just awful. It doesn't give you any feedback on how many people are there. It doesn't tell you anything about if you're live or not live. Like it's not user friendly. And I believe that's because they're not really a streaming service. They're just a video storage solution. And they're excellent at that. And I think that's really the only reason you need to use it. I mean, it's kind of funny that they say that we have SEO and Google Analytics. Nobody's going to find your video at all 100% on Vimeo. Like I was on there for years, not a single person, even when I gave them the URL, they could not find it. It's not a search engine. So just don't even worry about all that stuff. But yeah, so that's Vimeo. And so let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the front end to use all these tools. You log into Crowdcast, you're going to see here a button at the top right for dashboard and sign out, indicating that you're signed in. It looks here like you can go ahead and buy it again or look at their blog, but that is just, I think, their standard menu. These are upcoming webinars that other people are hosting who are on the Crowdcast platform, and they've made them public. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're free, but if you go like over here, the Reading Challenge Kickoff event, I don't know who this is, but you can see she's going to host this on the 2nd at 9:30 a.m. And you can go ahead and click, I think I could just click save my spot. And yeah, so I'm logged in and I'm registered along with, it looks like 199 other people. Now, I don't know who this is. Maybe if I wanted to research her more, I could go over here and I can see that this person is the Simplified Organization. She looks like a professional organizer, I think. I thought maybe it was something to do with writing, but it is not. So that's okay. So basically, that's kind of how Crowdcast lets you be discoverable for, I guess, other people if they happen to be watching. And then recent replays will also show up down here at the bottom as well. Now, if we go into your dashboard, you're going to see the ability to see all of your past events. You can see all of mine. There's a gazillion. So I have 10 pages worth. There's 199 events, public, private, it doesn't matter. But let's say, so this was a 2-hour co-working session that I did, and anyone can register for this, and I can see the past comments. So what I could do if I wanted to is I could archive this session. Now that just means it'll be hidden from people. If I could reset it to say I want to redo this all over again, and it will delete the current video that's there, Or, and this is really nice, this is a new feature, you can replace the video. So this would occur with, let's say you had tech issues, or there was something really important that you wanted to say, or maybe you stuttered a lot. I mean, who knows? You can actually just upload your own MP4 file and it will look like it was the real file that people saw live. You can download your actual file. Now this feature usually isn't available for, I want to say, depends on how big your file is, usually like 8 to 9 hours afterwards, but it's always there. You can email attendees directly from here. You can invite people to be on the screen with you. You can export the attendee list to a CSV. I actually have a direct integration with Drip, so it will just add people if I want to. You can add this to a calendar. You can add a new session. So add a new session just means that when you're over here, I don't have this, this is just a single session. There'll be a drop-down list, and then you can see session 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to name it. You can change the registration page for people. I mean, it's actually very functional and flexible, but not like crazy where it's offering you options you don't need. So that's kind of it. Now, the nice thing I like about this is you can add a call to action here. And let me just show you on a new event. So let's go ahead over here to this menu and let's go to a new event. So this will be a test event. And you can go ahead and you can schedule it for whenever you want. And just like I said, those multi-sessions, so you could have session 1, 2, 3, 4. So in theory, like let's say Planner 101 was going to be offered live, but it is not. But if it were, then I could offer all 5 sessions. So then people only registered once and they don't have to register for each one individually. Now over here, you're going to see the time in whatever time zone that you're set up in. And I believe it works with daylight savings, so you don't have to worry about making changes for that. So let's say I want to do this next Monday. I want to do it you can type it in, or you can use these little arrows right here. I want to do it at noon. Whoops. And then over here I can write something. This is my amazing and awesome description, which has typos because I'm too lazy to fix them. Okay, so over here, short description, you can enable a short description if you want. I've actually never used that. I'm really not sure. Oh, for SEO. So maybe you want to do it so that people can find you on SEO. And then over here, visibility, like I said, that very first screen we saw that before we got to the dashboard, that landing page, this just means that everyone will be able to see it. But if it's a private event or it's something that you have to pay for or be in a course for, you would just say unlisted. So I do this anytime I do a private event for, let's say, students or group coaching. Who can access this? So you can say anyone. I would always just leave this to anyone, even if it's unlisted, because as soon as you say payment or password, I don't know. I've tried this before. People get so many issues. I'm like, use this password. And it sounds like a great idea, but it just, I don't know what happens. People forget, they lose it. You get so many emails. As long as it's unlisted, I would just say anyone. You can accept payments through them. However, they are going to charge you a pretty high, I believe, fee. So you're better off. What I do is I charge somewhere else entirely, and then I give them the secret link. Again, I just say anyone unlisted. I give them the secret link, and I don't go through the payment processing that Crowdcast has. But if you're just starting out and you don't have that ability, this could still be a really great option, and it allows you to add a coupon code if you wanted for anything. And you can change this to, I don't know, Lisa 10, 12, and then you could give 12% off. That's an awfully odd number to give off, but you could give it to, you could limit it to, the number of users. I believe you can say unlimited, max number of times. Maybe you can just say 1,000. Yeah, you can just put like 1,000,000 inside there. And that's kind of it for your course. Now, the other thing is, I know you can't save the save button. For whatever reason, you have to say done, and then you can save the save button. Oh, we have payment, so we can just say the save button. You can add a cover, so you can add a photo here, or if you want, you can add a video trailer. Now you do have to link to it. So if you want to entice people with a video trailer to maybe, especially if it's paid, registration, again, you have to upgrade to do this, but you could register and collect different data from people. I never do this. Multi-streams, again, I will show you this in a second, and then advanced. So we'll just say, like, if I want an advanced custom code, like I want it to say Lisa, Siefert, or whatever, I could say that. And then you have all these other different options over here. So let's go ahead and save this. So now you'll see that that custom URL for your event is Lisa Siefert, all those crazy numbers that I put in here. Now, when I want to go live, I can go ahead and say, prepare to go live. And I can also use OBS Wirecast Live, and I believe it connects with Streamyard. Let's see, compatible software. Yeah. So OBS Live Ecamm, Wirecast, and Streamyard. And then we're going to exit out of here because we're not going to do that. And when you want to go live, you're going to go over here. It's going to check your camera and your mic. So I have a couple different cameras hooked up. So here I am right here with the Logitech Brio. And over here, you can choose whatever mic. Again, I have multiple mics set up, so you can save whatever mic you want. And then you can go ahead and click save. And then you'll notice you will show up in the screen. And then as people come in, they're not going to see you. Yes, you're just going to have to say yes to enable it. So down over here, what I really like is this call to action. So you can tell people something like buy now, download the workbook, whatever it is, give them a URL. So buy now, do I have a URL? I don't even know what that is. You can show it, you can hide it. So over here, you can hide it if you're just not ready to do that yet. And, but we're going to go ahead and show it. And then they'll see that green as a call to action for them. It's green, which means go. So that's good. Over here, when people ask questions, you can go ahead and click on each question. And then you can say start answering and stop answering when you answer the question. So then there'll be like question timestamps inside of there. You can ask people to fill out a poll. So you could create a poll, you know, how old are you? I don't know, 0 to 18. Let's see, 18 to 21 because you're in college, 21 to 30, etc. So you can just go ahead and you can make that visible or hidden. Again, you can then show it whenever you want. So we can hide that so people can see a little one, so they'll know that there's a poll inside there, and you can actually create multiple polls. Analytics over here. Obviously, there are no analytics inside of here because I'm just about to go live, and then people. And then as soon as I say go live over here, we're not going to do that because it'll freak people out. What happens, what's really cool is, oh, let me show you this too. So you can also, here at the top, I can share my screen. So I can share my other window. I can share different applications. I can share different tabs inside of Chrome. But let's go ahead and exit out of here. And let me go back to my event. So if you go to my, I guess it's called my Crowdcast channel. Where is my Crowdcast channel? Nope, that's pricing. There it is. So you'll see Lisa Siefert. I have the @LisaEllen Siefert as my Crowdcast sort of like, I guess, ID, but I have 614 followers. So what happens is every time I go live, as soon as I hit that live button, all 614 people will get a notification, hey, Lisa's going live. So that's something else you can use as well. Now over here, so that's kind of it for Crowdcast. And then you can see upcoming events. I don't have any because remember I made that unlisted. And then past events, if anyone wants to, they can just log in and register for any of these past events that I have. Let's go on to Streamyard. So Streamyard's a little weird because it actually doesn't ask you to log in. It simply just starts working. Like the login for a new person is they'll send you an email and it's really quick. They'll say, okay, you have 10 seconds to enter this secret Streamyard code to prove it's you. And that's it. There's no like ID and password. But basically with Crowdcast or with Streamyard over here, I can see my past streams. And I can go ahead if I want, like I said, I can download these. I can view this on YouTube. I can delete it. I can add, I mean, there's really no reason to enter the broadcast studio. The broadcast is done, but this will only last for 15 days. So if I go to these older ones, you'll see download recording. So it only saves it for 15 days. So it's past the 15 days. Yeah. So it's not going to work, even though it shows that it can do the download. Now, to set up where you stream to, so just so you know, when you go to create a broadcast, you'll see that I have Facebook groups in here. And I also have different YouTube channels. Courtney has her channel in here too. Or I could say skip and do a recording only. So then it's just kept on Streamyard, and then I just have that video file, which in theory I could download and upload somewhere else. Now, how did I see all of these different options on where to broadcast to? You have to add them ahead of time. So over here, you'll see these are all the places that that I have set up currently. If I want to add a destination, you can add Facebook, Twitch, you can add RTMP, which we just talked about, like OBS, Wirecast. You can add LinkedIn, which I've never bothered to ever use LinkedIn. YouTube's probably the one that you want. Honestly, I didn't even know that Periscope was still in business, but let's go to YouTube. And so you can see my different YouTube channels. So let's say I wanted to, I think they're all added. Oh, Lisa London is not added. I don't think I've ever posted to that because I don't post to that channel anymore. But it's going to send me a verification code. Let's see, what's my verification code? It'll text it to me. And it'll ask me what channel. So I think it's YouTube. I don't know which one. I think it's this channel. It's very confusing. Let's go ahead and say allow. Okay, so now when I go to create a broadcast, I can now see Latte, Pretty Fabulous, Cortagonist, and then I see Lisa London. So if I select Lisa London, it will show up on that channel. We'll do test. This is a test and will be deleted so no one gets excited. Now for privacy, I always just say public. If you do private, you have to send out invites or you have to add people if you want them to actually be able to see that on YouTube. And you have to like send it directly to their YouTube profile. Unlisted just means that it will not, I don't think it'll just show, I don't think anyone will even see it. So in theory, it could be private unless someone had the actual link. You could say schedule for later. You can upload a thumbnail over here for your image, and then you can choose whatever date you want to upload it or you want to do it. So let's say it's today, we'll do it at 6 o'clock. Here's the thing, let's upload, do I have a cute, let's upload a cute Lucky shot. There we go. We'll put Lucky as our thumbnail. Now the thing is, if you are late, I think by 3 minutes for your Facebook live streams, it won't work for whatever reason. So just something else to keep in mind, but we're going to make this public. We're going to say create broadcast. Now to go see that exact broadcast, what you could do is you're going to go over here and you're going to say view on YouTube. And then once you say view on YouTube, you can see that it's going to be live in 118 minutes. I can give it a thumbs up if I want. I can save it, or I can hit the bell. How do I get a notification? Oh, set reminder. There we go. So when I go to the Lisa London page, oh, it doesn't show up. I don't know why it doesn't show up. But, oh, maybe I think because I'm logged in. So that's basically how it's going to show up. Now, if you want to share this out to people, you can go ahead and copy this link right here, or you can create a post about it over here. Yeah, I'm logged in as Lisa Latte, not Lisa London. So that's just something that you can do. And then if you decide not to do it later on, if I go over here and I delete it, it will delete it, also giving that option to delete it on YouTube. If you don't say that, it will leave it up on YouTube. Now, let's say I have a co-host. You can invite a guest, and when they get this, they're going to get a different Streamyard login. This is very different than the one that you saw on YouTube when you share it, because this is for an attendee, and this is for somebody that you want to invite to be on the screen with you. So it's very, very different. But let's go ahead and go into this broadcast studio so you can see what it looks like on the back end. All right, so over here, this is the wrong camera. There, that's me. Okay, so this is the correct camera. And then you can pick for audio, you can pick the mic and the speakers. And then you can actually do a green screen. And I'm not a green screen fan, so I never use that. But you can go ahead and go in here. So now you'll notice the banner on here. So if I add myself to the stream, you have to actually do, I mean, sometimes when I first used it, I was like, why aren't I showing up? You have to actually click that button to add yourself. So I created this little graphic here. You don't have to use it. If you go over here on the right to banners, or sorry, not banners, brand, you'll see that you can use the Streamyard overlay, which, I mean, the whole point of paying extra for Streamyard is so that you don't have to have their branding. You can put a logo there over here at the top. Obviously, you wouldn't put theirs, but you can add yours. You can upload a logo over here. You can have your own overlay. So over here, I uploaded an overlay. If you don't want to use that overlay, you can just use the default, which is over here, which is show display name. And that's the name that you used when you logged into and it asked you what your name is. You can add video clips. So you could add a little countdown clip over here that will show right until you go live. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. So I really like it. I find it to be really great. Oh, you probably want to turn this off so you don't have two names there at the same time. And then when you hit go live, which obviously we won't do, but it is, so the difference is when you use Crowdcast, it does a countdown for you, like 3, 2, 1 to like kind of prep yourself, or I think it even does a 5-second countdown. This has no countdown. So you'll notice on some of my first StreamYard videos, I was like, just sitting there waiting for the countdown, but really like as soon as you hit go live, you are like literally live. There is no delay. It is like 1 second and you're done. So just something else to keep in mind. So, but let's go ahead and we will delete this broadcast. So now it's gone. All right, so that is how to use StreamYard. And then the last one for Vimeo. So Vimeo is a little different. So when you log into Vimeo, it's going to look like this. It's basically just trying to give you, there's me trying to do a test run. So we can go ahead and delete that. Oh no, oh there. I was like, I don't know my password. No, I don't know my password. So I guess we're going to be stuck looking at this random video of myself. But over here, so your feed, they're kind of trying to be like YouTube. These are Vimeo staff picks. These are, I guess, random videos. I honestly have never really looked around Vimeo. I think people do this sometimes out of boredom because Vimeo is an app on the Apple TV, like app, not the Apple TV app, at the like the actual physical Apple TV thing that you have. So I've done that sometimes where I'm on my Apple TV, there's nothing to watch. I'm like, I guess I'll look around Vimeo. Anyways, there's nothing in here. I don't know. It's really just to me a product software, like upload software. So over here at the top right, what you're going to do is you can upload a video right here. So let's just go ahead and we're going to upload a cat video. This is a really short video, so hopefully it will upload quickly. Now you can, these are other ways to upload. I've never tried those. It doesn't matter. It just is where it's going to like look for your video. Over here, again, you can add a description if you think you want to have your video searchable. Privacy, I never say that anyone can see this. What I always say, so you could do private where it's only you. But what I usually do is I say only people with the private link. So what that means is when I upload the videos to Mighty Networks, only Mighty Networks is able to show that video. And so you don't have to give people the private link. Mighty Networks will figure that out for you on the back end. But that's kind of how it works. It works the same thing. I've done this on Thinkific as well. You can ignore all of this because you don't need your video searchable. Like who cares? Just ignore it. Enable video page review. I always turn this off because I don't want reviews. I mean, people are going to be watching this video somewhere else. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now over here, when you go to edit settings, this again, because the way I'm using it, the only thing I would ever upload is a thumbnail. And the thumbnail I'm going to use is just going to be Lucky. So you can see it's converting your video, saving it into whatever format that Vimeo has. And I said people with private link. So that's that private link. Where can you embed this? What you could do is you could say specific domain. So like, I think it's mn.co is what I need to add for videos. So it's kind of a pain because I think you need to add this every time. Don't quote me on that. Actually, I think there's a way to add it in the settings. So it's a default, but anyways, who can comment? I just say no one. Can people download this video? No, obviously, because it's your course. Don't even bother with collections. Collections really just means a playlist. It's like Vimeo's way of saying playlist. And these don't matter either because you're not creating a channel or group. I mean, you could, but it would be honestly 1,000% a waste of your time in terms of SEO. So basically, I just go ahead and say save. And I'm done. Now, the only other things you might care about is over here with interaction tools is end screen. So at the very end of the video, if let's say it's a private video just for a for video webinar series, right? And you're trying to sell something at the end, you can actually, with this end screen, you can go ahead and try to capture someone's email or send them to another platform or something like that. So I think this is similar stock clips. Yeah, you can ignore that. Okay, so the other features on here on video, create a video. This is maybe useful if you're on social media a lot. So let's say we want to create a Happy New Year video. We can, I think Square is the only one, but just say for this particular video. So let's just say we want to customize it. And then over here, I can change the words, Happy New Year to you. I don't know, and say done. All right, so it doesn't fit, so we'd have to make it a little smaller. But you can do all of this, and then you can also add stickers onto it. I don't know, over here, you can add some music to the background. Now, I would say be careful with this music because even though it is music that Vimeo is providing, when I put these videos on YouTube, 100% I have gotten notifications from people that I have stolen their music and it is not licensed. So as long as you're not posting to YouTube, you should be fine with using the different music. But honestly, I guess you can change it. So we can change the landscape. But the thing is, if you are using this, I would 1000% just say, instead of using Vimeo, I would use Slidely. Slidely has some better stock videos in it. I don't know what the pricing is. I feel like there's like, Vimeo is, I believe, our promo is owned by Vimeo, but don't quote me on that. And if you do the same thing where you just kind of wait, you sign up for a trial, you ignore it, they'll send you a coupon code in the mail, and it's usually pretty big. It's like 50% off. But anyways, all right, so that is all three of those software, the streaming softwares that I use. I hope that was helpful, but bottom line, as a recap, WebinarNinja is awful. It is 100% unreliable, and honestly, if I did not have a lifetime access, I wouldn't even try reusing it ever. I always try it once a year just to see if the service has improved, and over 5 years, it has not. The second one is Crowdcast, which I love. They have excellent customer service. Sai, who owns it, is amazing, incredibly friendly, and they have a very affordable model that is similar to Streamyard. However, it doesn't do the same thing that Streamyard does. I think it does interact with them. The only down part of Crowdcast was simply that with Facebook, I was not able to multi-stream there. I just could never, ever get it to work. It could just be a user error. However, Streamyard, I love Streamyard. I love the interactivity. I love how easy it is to use. I love how easy it is to set up live streams. It was just never that easy with Crowdcast, to be honest. Crowdcast is really just great for private webinars and private coaching sessions or one-on-one sessions that you wanted to have recorded. And the thing with Streamyard is it's just so simple. You don't even have to log in. Like, you literally just go to the site and it just knows who you are. So that's like a big plus as well. The only downfall with Streamyard is it only keeps your recordings for up to 15 days. But quite honestly, if you're posting it to YouTube, you have a recording there as well. And you can't really do privates anyway. So to me, it doesn't really matter. And then the fourth one is Vimeo, which again, the live is terrible. Definitely don't upgrade for that purpose. However, if you are using a course platform like I am, which is Mighty Networks, they do not host videos, then that might be a good solution for you because it is very user-friendly in terms of making your videos private or making sure you can charge for them, and also keeping everything in a nice library and keeping it organized for you. So that is pretty much everything that I use and what I would recommend depending on what your purposes are. And remember, if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop them down below. I am always happy to help, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.